Let's go.
Hello, YouTube. It is I, Straw Hat Lucas, Captain of the Last Ark, and thank you for joining us here today. We are going to be talking about our predictions for Chapter 1117, talking about Chapter 1116, obviously, and we will also be, if I can, get your guys' opinions on how long we think we have left in Egghead and how we think it's going to go down, like the ending of it. I'm joined today by the historian of the last arc, Cube of the Red Sea. Cube, how we doing today?
Hey, what's up, guys? Excited, able, and willing to talk about the last crazy chapter, and also our predictions. Let's get it
Yes,
going, man.
sir. And the musician of the last arc, Mr. Joshua Victor. How we doing today, Mr. Josh?
Yo, what's up? I'm alive.
Hey, that's all that matters, right? And
Yeah.
last but certainly not least, one of my closest friends in the whole wide world, the struggler and stowaway of the last arc, Mr. DQ Tree the Wolf. How we doing, DQ?
Pretty good, man. What's poppin'?
What's poppin'? Don't mind me, just watching. Ah! Okay. Never again. So what have you guys been up to lately? Yeah? Good stuff before we get into like the main topic and main course of today?
You know, not to shill TLA gaming, but vexyz, the head cook of the last arc, and I beat the first Trails in the Sky game last week, and tomorrow we're going to be hanging out with King Recon and giving our review about it. That's what's been going on with us.
I just have to ask, how was it? Like, how was the ending? Did it satisfy, like, satiate the build up to it and everything? Without giving me too much, because I know you guys are reviewing it tomorrow.
Everything built up, and I was like, dang, this is a really happy ending. And then we did like the epilogue, and I was like, man, am I crying? Like, what the what?
Oh, that's amazing, dude.
It was just whiplash, but in like the best of ways that a game could elicit something like that out of you.
Oh yeah, oh yeah, go ahead, Cube.
I was just gonna say, congrats on the first of many the games you guys finished.
I think there's like 12 more in the series.
Yeah,
Exactly.
yeah. I know we had talked about like taking a break game in between. Are all of them just as long too? Like 40-hour
I have
gameplay?
no idea.
Pause.
Like actually no idea.
Oof.
Yeah.
Oof.
And I'm also on. I won't lie. I'm sure you must be excited for tomorrow with King Recon as well. And that's,
Yeah, Recon
that'll be a great
compared
one.
it to One Piece, and when we start diving into the chapter review, like it's actually kind of crazy because learning about like ancient weapons from like a past civilization, and it's very, very One Piece coded.
Hmm. There's
Just
ancient weapons. See, I missed the last like two
yeah.
streams because I was playing D&D on my channel. Shameless plug. Um,
Group
also, shout out
14.
JJ. Shout out JJ in the chat. Lucas trying to take over YouTube
Yeah.
today, apparently. Yes, sir. Every day.
Yeah, I caught that last week. Last week I was like, "Oh, DQ is about to start his game. Cool. Oh shit, the guys are also on the D&D session. Okay,
Yeah.
that's quite of a pickle."
Dude, no, scheduling group 14, you can ask Josh, has been like a nightmare because all of us can only get together on like certain days of the week, and Thursday's like the one that we had to lock in. Poor Ragnar had to give up his work schedule to take Thursdays off so we could play. It's just been a whole
Ragnar.
thing.
Nah, he loves doing it. Let's be real.
Yeah,
Ragnar
yeah,
loves
man,
D&D.
yeah.
Group
Yes.
14 solo.
Group 14 does solo. Best captain,
I
first
mean,
mate combo.
Josh,
Let's go.
Josh,
Yeah.
Josh, watch out because you're in so much different D&D groups that you can't keep saying for one group solos. You know, just say Josh solos D&D. It's easier for you.
Nah, I can shit on the other two groups.
Shout out to the doctor of the last arc, Mr. Smokey Chopper, Grand Line Bound Baby himself, Smokey.
So let's go. Yeah.
Smokey.
What are those little arms? What are those little arms? Hide them away,
Little,
man.
what
I'm
the
just
hell are
kidding.
you talking about?
Dude,
I didn't realize Smokey was so jacked, man.
Yeah, dude, Smokey's a boxer. What are you talking about? Smokey, how I've just been. We haven't started on any of the topics yet. I've just been kind of waiting for people to come in and whatnot. How are you doing today, brother?
I'm having a great time. I'm smacking on this Twinkie, like a fatso. So yeah, I'm having a good time, man.
Let's go. That's what I like to hear, brother. How is what's the next arc review looking like, brother?
Oh, I'm cooking it up, bro. I'm glad you guys asked. I'm gonna have a couple of you guys on there. Now
Yes,
that
sir.
I'm pretty sure all of us, everybody on this call, I've asked to be a part of, even DQ. So I don't know if I told everybody, but DQ said
Let's
he
go.
fucking love you, DQ. I love you.
Hell yeah, brother. I love you more. On God, for real.
Did I
can't
tell you
wait.
guys who's DQ gonna play?
No.
He's gonna be Wiper.
Let's
Nice.
go.
Pretty sick. And
Don't
like a-
crush that wiper, boy.
Stop, Lucas. dude, Pagaya lives rent free in my head, bro. I swear. And now, Uncle Tom Fall. No,
Oh my god, dude!
Yeah,
Uncle
man.
Tom Fall is insane. Like,
No, he'll be great, guys. I'm thinking of inspiration from some cartoons, especially the Boondocks, for certain characters to have a certain.
Oh yeah. I know
Mentality.
exactly what you're talking about. Another uncle for sure.
Exactly.
if he's talking about Uncle Ruckus, I'm out, guys. Like,
I'm out, dude. I'm out.
So let's dive in, guys. Chapter 1116 is a good place to start. What did we all think of the chapter?
Oh, beautiful.
Well, before we dive in, I think we should address John's question in chat quick. Do you all think Egghead would be perceived as positively if we didn't spend so much time out of Egghead?
I think so. Just swap out Egghead for any other island. What Oda's revealing to us is spicy. Like Kuma's backstory, spice. Like one of the greatest backstories of all time. He came through and smashed, man.
Well,
Yeah,
I'm
'cause
thinking, what do we lose if we get rid of the stuff that's not Egghead? We just lose Kuma's backstory and
The big reveal of Emu and the
Law.
Gorosei at the
Law,
reverie.
the law defeat.
Yeah.
Law
All the
getting
stuff outside of the
whipped.
island.
But if I'm being
So,
honest,
yeah.
I don't think any of that was a detriment to the storytelling at Egghead. With the Reverie stuff, the only thing detrimental about that, I would say at least, is that when we came back, they had basically off-screened the Straw Hats overcoming Rabalucci, the Seraphim, and Kaku again.
Yeah,
You know
I
what
think
it
that
is? Oh, sorry,
go ahead,
sorry.
Josh.
Yeah, that part of the story isn't really needed. Plus, it's always better to have more content that can
Yeah.
get in the anime.
Yeah.
the Shanks
Like,
one
it's
shot.
gonna be the exact same story piece
Oh.
as every other arc.
The Kobe
Dude,
and
what I-
Corp stuff as well.
Yeah,
What I was
Exactly.
gonna say is for the longest time in One Piece, we've never really had to follow other specific characters in the way that we have so far. And Oda's like remember how I said chess pieces, right? So there's more pieces now that we're kind of following Law, Kid. Like it's not just the Straw Hat. So it kind of probably feels weird to a lot of people. Like, hey, why it's not Straw Hat centric? But it's like, hey man, game is evolving. Like literally, it's evolving. If you want to follow
Yeah.
this game and see where it ends, you gotta follow all the pieces.
Exactly.
know?
And
And
I think
that-
that speaks a lot to what Oda said at the beginning of Egghead, in the beginning of the final saga, is that like everything before now was just setup. This is when One Piece begins.
It's like the
Like-
greatest tournament arc. It's like almost like a tournament arc where it's like
Yeah.
so many branches.
And
You're
I
gonna
also would say that it's also very similar. You know how we see it from Luffy's point of view? Think about it. When Luffy's a supernova, we keep seeing the red supernova around the world. It kind of makes sense that they're showing that a Yonko is because Luffy just became a Yonko, keeping his competition, showing us what they're doing at the same time, seeing his
Yeah.
place in the world. So
If
Yeah,
they
so I
took
think it's
all
like
of the non-Egghead stuff out of Egghead and just smashed it together right before we actually visited Egghead, do you think it would have hit as hard?
No.
Yeah, I don't know. I think like, well, it depends. The Kuma stuff, probably
Kuma stuff.
not. Well, because there was a little bit of like Vegapunk adds a lot to that aspect, right? He's like
You know,
he's intertwined with their backstory. But
And
I feel like the
Vog,
Kuma flashback is Egghead because a lot of it takes place on Egghead.
Yeah.
And also,
true.
you have Law and Kid losing, so they see that the non-Yanko supernovas are losing, and Luffy's gonna be the one that wins.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That gives away.
Also, the Kuma flashback is not just a flashback that just appeared now. Like, it's basically something that Oda has been building since Sabaody. The moment that Kuma said all the straw, it's like that connection that he goes back with it. So I feel like the Kuma flashback is something. It's one of like the O'Hara flashback we got after Annie's lobby. You know, we know that there are more. That's more is going to appear in future arcs, especially Elbaf with Clover,
Yeah.
most likely. So I
Okay,
feel like
one could argue.
I feel like
one
this
could argue he's
flashback was
building
the
for
flashback
Thriller.
that Oda was waiting to drop. You know, so it
Yeah.
connects more to an Egghead.
While we have a moment, I do want to introduce the first mate of the last arc, Mr. Din Din Kushi, slapping the tushy. How we doing?
Whoa. Yeah. We're good. I'm ready to bring the Nefertari sex appeal. Speaking of which, Sarah's PJ trip. She's not here yet. Okay. I will add to that though. Right? Like it's a good question, I think, but ultimately, I have to say it once. No. It's a good question, but like, I think if you take into account everything that happened with Clover and the fact that we don't really know anything about Clover, now we got to see Vegapunk, and we didn't just see him as the Stellar, we saw him in so many different forms through the satellite. We had this, like, it was quick or brief, but we've got a super quick, strong grasp of what Vegapunk's like, which gives us an idea about like what Clover and O'Hara were doing, because we know that Vegapunk now, he's been sliced and diced. That's because he got too close to the true history, right? Which is exactly what happened to Clover. So I think
Flew too
like,
close to the sun,
the
dare we
bit, the
say.
build up.
Yes, sir. Icarus.
I wouldn't say it's necessary, but like because he could have done it in a different way. That's why it's a sick question, I think. But it, like the way he has done it, I guess that's a different question. Do people like how it's gone? Is it been too quick? I mean, we still got to find out some stuff. But yeah, anyway, thank you for having me on.
Dude, it's better than the Wano stuff, revealing the reverie outcome and making us wait like 2 years until the reveals. Yeah, it's much better.
I mean, but that was still a good play by Oda because it built up
It
a
was
lot
good.
of what took place during the reverie. Everyone's
Yeah.
got this theory. Y'all remember whenever Library of Ohara came out with the Return to Reverie, where we got what we thought were going to be the Gorosei's forms?
Yeah.
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 That was
I know
wild.
it's also
Bro,
I have a bias. I'm a huge Sabo fan, and so it took me 2 years to finally be right about some stuff. I was like, oh,
It is
just give the
bizarre
answer.
that the one dude who has seen Emu like face to face carries
Waffle.
around the pipe in a top hat. You know what I mean? It's like it's so odd. Like
This is
I
One
was thinking
Piece.
about that earlier today.
Yeah,
it's One
and-
Piece exactly. It's very odd.
Yeah, and like Smokey said, Wapple as well. Like Wapple saw Emu.
Yeah.
He knows someone's sitting on the throne of the world,
Dude,
like the empty.
It's crazy, but
Through the movie one.
Wapple and Emu are crazy because you think of it,
Crazy.
Emu is 1/6. Wapple is also introduced in volume 16. You know, people make connection to Emu and Robin all the time, but dude,
Yeah.
Wapple and Emu have those interactions or like connections. It's weird.
I've been thinking recently, like it is probably overlooked actually, because when we think about like when he was like exiled or whatever, it happened. Like he became the king of Black Drum Kingdom, and like drums are now a lot more relevant. So Wapple definitely seems, and we saw him turn into that like
Slim
what's that
Wapple.
called? Yeah, the Megazord thing, like that was sick. And
Oh, you mean
yeah,
Yeah,
When he
bro.
ate- when he ate-
Wapple
when he ate
was
his-
the first
himself?
document we saw.
yeah. That Waffle metal is
that'd be a
really
big one.
mysterious as well.
Yeah,
It is.
bro.
Waffle that was spicy topic.
Do you
Like,
guys
and
think
that's
he
the
makes
thing.
it with like pyrobloin? You think pyrobloin is like a key component to his Waffle metal?
I think that
Because
gives
I
you
really
blue
do
waffle.
think.
Whoa.
It might be,
like-
but at the end of it, it just comes down to whatever he eats and digests. So that's what I think is like the person before Wapple had went through and made like all of these top tier metals that we have. Like we have Doncrete with Woot Steel.
Yeah,
That shit's gold.
yeah, yeah. You're kind of hinting on something. I mean, that's how modern inventions are. That's how metal is kind of made, where it's like we make one type and we just improve on it. So I could definitely see that.
Alloys, right?
Yeah,
That's interesting.
yeah. It's definitely an alloy. It's not a
Um,
whole substance for sure.
Well, I was going to ask, what have I know I'm a bit late. Apologies for that. What have I missed so far? What have you? What
Oh,
have you
nothing.
covered?
You jumped in like right as the conversation started. I was just about to ask thoughts on 1116, actually, before JJ asked such a wonderful question in the chat. So, guys, what are our thoughts on 1116? Do we think Vegapunk's message has much longer to go, or do you think we're rounding down now?
Yeah, like 2
Was
chapters
JJ's
more.
question about Tottenham? Sorry.
See.
I agree with what Josh said, that it'll probably be about 2 chapters more of Vegapunk giving us just the wrap-ups of the conversation, because he just now told us that the war is still ongoing.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I'm still wondering why he had this big emphasis on the video. Like, obviously he's showing some of the stuff, but it did seem that this message, it was important for people to see, and I still feel like he might show something that we're not expecting.
Yeah.
Or something we don't know about.
Right. There
I
has
mean,
to be a
He's
visual
going to be
aspect.
set up for more reveal, and then the Den is going to be taken out,
Yeah.
as apparently they've figured out where it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, see, that's how I feel. I think that we've gotten most of the information we're going to get from Vegapunk. There might be one more like minor reveal, but I do
Right.
agree, DQ. I think before he can reveal anything more major, the Den will be taken out. The question is though, what would he reveal still that's major? Will he show the world
A
Eden?
map. A map.
Yeah. An early
Ooh.
prediction of what he calculates the world to be before the flood.
Like think about it like this, right? In real world, in this is in our world, there are maps that show pieces of the world, aka Antarctica, that predate its discovery, right? And
Yeah.
it's always a big thing where it's like, where did they find this information? Not only that, to even because they're very accurate, right? And not only that, so it's like it goes to the thought process of like, were these maps taken from an aerial view to be so so accurate, right? And these are just people in boats. Like how was that possible? So I think
Yeah.
maybe
And there's
O'Hara passed down. Maybe he found a map in O'Hara when it was burnt down or something like that, and he just kind of put like that's kind of probably what drove him to like kind of what should I say, like the proof that he had. He's like, okay, I have to show the world like this map. It shows the world like totally different before the flood. Maybe I don't. That's my thought process. on
Yeah,
that.
and
Yeah.
no, I would add on it with the map thing. It's something we've been seeing many time and again. And Dressrosa literally had a storyline where people forgot. And I've said, if the Void Century, when all information erased, it also affected certain people's memories. I've said, if there's a map of the world, what are we going to see? Those kings might not have a full claim for those lands, you know? Like, we keep seeing, like, the king in the different nations, they're finding lands with the natives. I've always said, there might be so that some of those 20 kingdoms might be rulers of a section of that island, but not really. Because the way they talk about the Void Century means that after the Void Century, all information about the past has been forgotten. So I wonder if they're going to show a map of the world with the real ruling families, and maybe some of them are not even ruling families. You know, it's 800 years. You know, maybe people has forgotten, so they come and they say, "Oh, 800 years ago we used to be the king there," but maybe they only had one section, a mountain. You know, so that I'm also curious. You know,
Kind of like the Don Quixote way being like, "Oh yeah, Dressrosa was ours." Yeah, we don't know if the entirety of Dressrosa was theirs.
Yeah,
exactly.
Right. Right.
We have 2 super chats real quick from Mr. Bushido. The first one, a £5 super chat. Thank you very much. The Gorsei take out the Iron Giant despite Top Man. then turn their forces on the Straw Hats. This is where things get ugly for the crew, and Iron Giant
Yeah.
is made of Wapple metal. Well, for the first one, I don't know, man. Why you slandering Top Man? It is the year of the board, my guy.
Top man,
shout
top
out
man,
JJ.
top man.
Top man. But
man,
with the
top man.
Wapple metal thing,
Bottom man.
that doesn't make much sense at all, considering Wapple was not alive during the time the Iron Giant was built.
Maybe he means a predated version, a prototype version.
Like what I was talking about earlier with the wood steel, how
Dude,
that could be the
dude.
previous user of Waffle's Munch fruit. That's what I
Dude,
think he's going based
You want to
off
hear?
of.
You want to hear a
Okay.
crackpot theory that I just randomly said at the end of my chapter? I said 3-Day caught this too. I said, what if we saw the Iron Giant stretch? Like it's like
Ooh.
that is advanced technology. Like it could stretch its metal, like on some Terminator type stuff. Oda is a big fan of Terminator. I'm just saying.
This is true, yeah.
I mean, even too, we have a gadget
I spoke it.
that most of his robotic parts were able to extend where he needed them to be.
Right, right. That was like
I'm
that's crazy.
still wondering if we're gonna get a Pika twist with the Iron Giant. Remember how Pika was like shown so menacing, was never talking until we heard his voice, and we keep hearing the Iron Giant just saying certain statement. But I've wondered, what if it has a cartoon-like voice?
That'd
You know,
be
since
so
Gear
great.
5 is all about cartoon and it activates on Drums of Liberation. Like, what if when he talks, he's very cartoony as well?
Well,
you know?
that's why I said maybe it could stretch. What if it's like a robot that imitates Luffy / Nika, where it imitates its creator, like whatever's modeled after.
Yeah,
Bro,
to
it
replicate
goes into that
what
theory
it
that I was
Dances
talking
and
about.
stuff. What if it dances? That'd be so sick.
What was that, DQ?
Like, if it builds off that theory I was talking about, where I've been saying that the Mother Flame is a weaponized version of Gear 5. Like, it has the heartbeat like sound effect, the same one that Luffy has, and like using that to like Vegapunk alludes to it in the chapter, but doesn't literally say it outright. That part of the Mother Flame was stolen, and then the Lucia got deleted, and it's like, gee whiz, it's almost like the Mother Flame has the same powers and can power these ancient weapons that like Joy Boy or Nika was needed to power them with his fruit. And seeing like if Vegapunk put this Den and had it be protected by this ancient robot, Vegapunk had to have had some way to power the ancient robot, which would be the same way that Luffy would be powering it, is that it's that Drums of Liberation, that fruit,
A
that
heartbeat.
Mother Flame.
Well, correct me if I'm
The
wrong, but
original-
didn't Vegapunk say that he could not figure out how to power the robot?
Yeah,
He had
but this-
It shows a power source.
Hold on.
But like
See if I get
he
this.
was,
He had
he
attached
also said that he hadn't
ancient
figured
kingdoms
out
energy source.
he hadn't figured out the Mother Flame quite fully yet, which
Right.
I believe he was trying to again like weaponize like that Gear 5th power to try and figure out a way to power that robot.
DQ, me and you are on the same theory like process, because I swear I've been saying the same thing. The ancient robots were fueled by Joy Boy somehow, whether it be like the Mother Flame or his heartbeat. And like when he passed away, I think that's when they ran out of energy, right? And no coincidence, Luffy shows up and the robot awakes. And I asked this question to everybody. Would that robot have woken up if Luffy wasn't there? Let's say every other Straw Hat showed up to the island, but Luffy. Would it have woken up? It's always probably not. So it's like something with Luffy. So yeah, we're on the same process with that. I love that for sure.
I mean,
I wholeheartedly
I'm
agree.
gonna-
the Wind Waker theory a long time ago, if I'm not mistaken, and that has come true. So
Love
I'm
the
listening
Wind
to
Waker
that.
theory.
It's all a dream.
It was all a dream.
It's the Word World magazine.
And every day I've been thinking.
Oh yeah, what's up, Dylan?
on firstly the Wapple metal thing, Bushido, with the armor. That is interesting because they call it the Iron Giant. And there might be a connection between Wapple metal and real life iron or something like that. Like Smokey the Doc says, fucking it might be predecessed, like it might be like super old version of it or something. Also I was gonna say, I think Vegapunk, I don't want to say it, but the way the pace of the story's moving, it makes me think that maybe he's gonna say the name of the ancient kingdom. which Blow
Oh,
loves
yeah,
to
yeah.
do.
Oh, let's go, dude.
And if he does that, like, because I've always wondered, like, is Vegapunk gonna... Well, I always assumed he's not going to be able to finish the speech. He's just going to say a load of shit, and that's what the reader will get. But the way it's going, it's looking like he might actually, blow his load fully. So, like, if he says the name of the Ancient Kingdom, that might, if it's like something like the Sun Kingdom, it might really shift. Because
Can we do that for a second?
Really shift it, like...
Can we take a time and guess what the name would be? I would love to hear your guys' predictions on like what it would be.
Yeah.
Just
I think.
First, I will start with the captain. Go ahead, Luke.
No, I think it's like Denon just said. I think it's going to be called the Kingdom of the Sun or Nika, like the Kingdom of Nika. Like it's
Okay.
pretty prevalent to me that there's more to that, and maybe even 3-Day, our lovely, lovely Navigator, is correct, and Bink Sake is an anagram for brewed in Nika's kingdom.
Ooh.
Yeah.
What if it's like
I've
beans
always-
or something? That'd be crazy.
yeah, I've always said this. What if the twist of it is it's called the Kingdom of Earth? That's why Oda is so big in implying the connection to those real life. It's like
Very
the
birth.
island's name changed, but maybe Wano had like a closer to Japan kind of name, a bit like
Yeah.
Superman. He's from Krypton, but still we have
Oh, no.
Earth, the planet Earth, and stuff like that. Yeah,
Yeah.
there's a twist to it.
I think it's gonna have to be something with joy or like dawn or joy, something with that pertains to those two.
Maybe
words.
not. I think Joy's probably a bit later. Like I think the Ancient Kingdom might be really old. You never know. He might just throw a curveball and he might be like, it's Belgium or something like that. But
My
like the idea
problem-
of, I like the idea of dawn, because dawn is like a beginning, and if it's an ancient kingdom, it could be the beginning of stuff. Dawn has
Right.
like the idea of the sun behind it. Like I
Right.
really like that.
Well, we
Yeah.
do have a Dawn Island.
one thing.
And romance dawn.
One thing that we could look at. There is something that we could look at, like, which is like in One Piece. Obviously, Oda gives us a lot of opposites, right? Everything's an opposites. Luffy, Blackbeard, blah blah blah. And we do have Marishwa and celestial dragons. So, like, I know like Marishwa isn't called Dragonland, but it has celestial dragons there, and the Monkey Clan might be the opposites of the Dragon Clan. So, whatever it is, it might be monkey related, or like maybe even Animal Kingdom. That might be
Banana
something like
Banana Hammock Island.
Yeah. Just to go back.
I
Just
ruined
to go
it.
back on something DQ said, to jump on his thing, you know that when in chapter 19, the way Shanks talks in the flashback with Buggy, he claims that all devil fruit comes from the same source.
Mm.
The incarnation of the Sea Devil. They all come back from the same source.
It is weird because like no one ever brings it up anymore. But fucking Luffy back in the day, in like chapter like when he met Buggy, I think it was, he was like, yeah, I ate the fruit of the gum gum tree or something like that. And it's like, well, I'm not too sure if
That was Kobe
That was Romance
saying that
Dawn.
it was from the Gum Gum tree.
That was
Yeah.
Romance Dawn.
No, it's not
that was
Romance
that was
No. It's in the official. It's in the,
No. So in
Yeah,
the
yeah.
first two chapters, Toby says that must be from the Gum Gum tree
Yeah.
when referring to the Gum Gum fruit.
Luffy has a line where he says, "I ate the fruit of the gum gum tree."
Yeah,
I'll
there's a
pull it
line.
up.
There's a line in either. I think it's in Orange Town or
no,
in his, when he's
it's
younger.
it's in Shellstown, and I'm looking at it right now. It is Kobe who says it. It is, you must have eaten the
Okay,
fruit
yeah.
of the Gum Gum tree.
Yeah, because it was right before he made the comment about Zoro being a demon.
Yeah. I did not remember this at all. I'm being honest, kind of blown away.
That's
the-
interesting.
the-
Well,
Like, Dill, that's an interesting point. Because maybe all of them things are true in that case. If he's saying he's a demon, definitely.
well, I think
Yeah, it's also.
that could be a leftover from Romance Dawn, if I'm being honest, because in
Yeah.
Romance Dawn there was only one, and by Romance Dawn, just for the audience, I'm sure you're all aware, but I'm talking about the one shots Oda did before One Piece. In Romance Dawn, though, there was only one type of devil fruit, and it was the gum gum fruit that came from the gum gum tree. So, like, it
No.
could be like
there
a
was
leftover thing.
another dude. There was a dude that Luffy fought in the Romance Dawn section because they were trying to capture the Nami's bird from the Romance Dawn.
Balloon.
balloon.
I don't
Talking about
remember what
Balloon?
name of it was.
I
I
don't
don't remember what
want
but
I don't want to
the dude
sidetrack.
was a pirate with the devil fruit ability.
Yeah, you guys are sidetracking, bro.
Den
I
brought
got a
up
picture
the Wind Waker theory. In the last arc Discord under the theory section, I'm going to post an image of exactly what is happening in One Piece currently that did happen in Wind Waker between Ocarina of Time for all of you Zelda fans out there. Just wanted to shout that out.
said that-
Also, remember to
That
join the
did or
Discord.
that didn't?
It actually
Okay.
did happen in Wind Waker. It's in
Yeah.
the official Zelda Hyrule Encyclopedia, and it showcases like where the landmarks are above the sea after the world was flooded from Ocarina of Time.
Oh, that's fire, dog.
Yes, sir. That is exactly what's happening right now. Well, what happened exactly 800 years ago in One Piece. So that's fucking spicy.
Yeah.
Dude,
Well,
DQ is
Technically,
spicy with it.
also according to Vegapunk, it's happening right now too.
Yeah, again.
The younger
Like-
Dryad theory, bro. Real life. Real life.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah,
To-
me and
to go
Dindin have
back
been
on-
talking about the younger Dryas for so long, bro.
Dude, invite me next time to these. I love those type of talks, man. I love that
So,
stuff.
To
Terrifying stuff.
add context of the whole Gum Gum tree, in the official French, it goes even deeper. The way that Luffy's fruit is mentioned by Captain Morgan and Shanks' crew in the flashback, they refer it as Satan's fruit for Luffy. And
Yeah.
there's- in French, it's
devil fruit.
Yeah, there's the word diable means Satan as the devil, but démon is what they call for devils that we use it. They only refer that statement twice for Luffy at the beginning and never again. So there is a twist, I do think, on how they name it. It's an official in French.
Bushido in the chat said that he thinks the Ancient Kingdom is Pangea, and I can get on that too, if I'm being honest, especially with Pangea Castle. Because is that
Okay,
here's a question is
he came to play.
yeah,
It's gonna be called Tartaria.
Tarperia. Ooh,
Area.
Agartha. We gotta go deep into the conspiracies.
Let's throw Moo. We got to throw Orz's Moo in there. That's definitely
Moo, you gotta
Yeah,
throw
Moo.
Moo in there. You gotta
Lemuria,
throw
maybe-
Asgard.
Moo,
Maybe
Hi Brazil.
maybe-
You guys want me to keep going? I have like 100 of these.
maybe
High
may-
West.
may- maybe it was Pangaea DC, you know?
High
It was called
West.
Pangaea DC.
Whoa.
well,
No.
see, here's my question then.
That's big.
Is Pangea Castle, was that its original location? Was it built on top of the Grand Line, or was it moved there from the Kingdom of Pangea?
Ooh,
Ooh.
that's fire.
That's
pretty spicy.
also spicy because we do see that the whole parallel which is on Drum Island, the castle that's on there. Like I've always wondered how they built that, and I always assumed it was going to be flooded. Like the flooding, like if water levels were higher, then everything would be more balanced. But I actually do think someone has moved it or something. Like you say, there's a way that they've moved it somehow, either using water levels. Which the more we go into the story, the more I'm thinking maybe the water was at the top of the red line at one point. Like maybe the water was that high.
Exactly. I'm thinking the red line it's a totally man-made structure. I think it wasn't there to begin with, man. I think it wasn't as high as it was. If anything, it was probably ground level. I really do think
they said the Lunarians lived there originally and that it was considered the top of the world. So that tells us that it's been there for a while.
God's land.
The God's land.
God's land.
But
Yeah.
with what Dindin
Remember
said,
what One Piece
since,
though?
Hold
Hold on. Well, remember what One Piece though? A lot of things are said in One Piece. Doesn't make it true.
exactly, that is true.
It could be that whatever's left of the land on the red line is the section of the Lunarians. So it's not a false claim to say that they used to reside there, but most of the other land have disappeared.
All right.
Well, it could be. Oh, go ahead, Josh.
Like
Yeah,
I
go
come with
ahead.
the idea maybe it was a ring of mountains and something happened in the voice ancient that no mountains unite and become the red line.
Yeah.
That's exactly what I was about to say.
Okay,
That it
wait,
could
wait.
have been a solitary plateau originally called the top of the world, and then they formed the red
Right.
line around it. Because if you look
So,
at the
the only-
rocky or at the red port, right, there looks like there's a giant doorway where the world government logo is. It looks like a
Archway.
giant
Yeah.
archway that has been sealed
Yeah.
off. So it would make sense if it
Right.
was one location that they built the entire red line around.
Or like I said this in the VC yesterday. What if, because we know that it's in sections, right? What
Yes.
if every section was a piece of land that like it came from people that are extinct, like species that were wiped out? Every cell
That
section
has to be the
were,
way
like,
because Nami said that the red line goes through different climates as you go across it.
Yeah,
So
every sector has its weather pattern.
It has those island, not only like metal points for like the log posts and shit, but it also has the island's climates still in those separate regions of the red
Yes, sir.
Right. Yeah.
Okay, but listen, that's like saying like, oh yeah, look at North America. There's different climates in North America all throughout it. Like the red line stretches across the
that'd
world,
be like
dude.
saying,
Like,
look at
of
North
course
America.
it's gonna
If you
have
go
different
from
climates.
state to state, each state has its own individual climate that stays that climate. That would be
Right.
what that comparison would be, not what you were saying.
Well, no, I know what DQ's saying because that
Yeah,
kind of
Still
is
stretches
the same.
around the world. Like
But
it's
listen,
gonna have different climates.
But here's the thing, though. It's the thing about it, and like in all nature, nature doesn't build in straight lines, bro. The fact that the red line is a fucking that runs just straight down the middle of
Wait,
the.
whoa.
Oh yeah, it's absolutely
I'm going to
man-made.
challenge that. I'm
Or
going to
devil
challenge
fruit
that,
made.
right? Two things. Firstly, the equator definitely seems red line-esque, and that is pretty much a straight line, and that's natural, right? Unless you're suggesting someone made the
No, it's
equator on Earth.
But it's not a
for me-
physical
for me-
object.
for me-
land
It's not a
formation, dude.
physical object.
Yeah,
It's not a physical.
for me-
I mean, you could talk about
Yeah,
the
but
Schumann resonance. The Schumann
no, but
resonance.
also
goes
think
around the
about
Earth
it. Then
perfectly
because
too,
of
but
how
it's
the red
not
line and
man-made.
reverse,
It's not physical.
how,
Not tangible.
how the red line here, to help out to go with what Smokey is saying, how the red line and reverse mountain, if you want to add to it, equally shares of 4 C's is not natural. There's something that was
Channels.
guided. Yeah, it's like it's organized of 4 blues, the way it's organized.
Yeah,
in
that
like
leads,
4
that leads me to
different
my next question, because I do believe that. Like, I believe that something happened to the equator, which began the red line, and then they did something to it. But my actual question is, how do you, if these things are man-made, like I think Nami might have said they're man-made as well.
Yeah.
If these things are synthetic, then how do you think they were made?
Is the red line
Like
horizontal
everything
or
else.
vertical?
It's at a
The
tilt.
what?
It's
Yeah,
at a tilt.
okay.
It's
That's the whole world.
The grand line. Well, we don't. The world's not tilted. Just the red line and the grand line.
Yeah, like the North Blue is the North.
Listen, the red line goes around vertically,
in the north.
and
They're perpendicular.
It's next to
and
the
then the grand line is like a belt, and then the com belts are there's 2 com belts that sandwich the grand
Yeah,
line
yeah.
Yeah.
around it.
I was more
So
so
that seems
trying to get
purposely
on like,
made.
So
if it's vertical, then it wouldn't be following the equator.
No, it's
the
following
grand
the,
line
Say-
is what
Yeah,
Oda
the
has
grand
referred
line
to
would
as
be-
like the equator. Yeah.
right.
Okay.
so
What's the real world equivalent to the vertical?
prime
Axis-
meridian.
The prime meridian.
Prime Meridian.
Greenwich.
Guys, so Nak is in the chat, and actually he's bringing some points. He's saying it's Nami specifically said it was stitched together. It's not really
Yes.
straight, not even close. So you gotta remind them that Nami told us it's multiple land masses stitched together as she climbed into Reverse Mountain.
I mean, we do
Yes,
know
and
of a
that's
continent.
why I was
below.
bringing up. That's why I was bringing up the different climates of different islands are what shows in the red line. That's why I'm saying,
Right.
like, yeah, it would be the states having a individual climate that stays that same climate the entire year round, all year round. If you were
All
living on the red line and you are at one
Yeah,
specific
all
point,
lined up.
your entire life, you'll be living in winter, or you'll be living in fall or spring or summer, unless you move to a different portion of the red line.
That's
Yo,
I don't think. Or okay, hold on. I'm
Yeah,
saying that
She showed that to us.
yes, it's clearly man-made, but saying that the climates are different because they're mashed together islands, I think is a stretch. The line goes around the entire world,
So it
of
would
course
enter
there's gonna be
different climates.
Climates.
Yeah. I see both
It's
arguments. I'm not
the
gonna lie. I
world's
do.
climate. That's the point. It's not the world's climate. Each individual island has its own climate. We've gotten it for the entire world so
Well,
far.
that's a theory.
Only,
That's your theory.
only. No, no.
it's not.
No, DQ.
Drum
It's
Kingdom
in.
does not change. It's always the snowy island. That's
But
the
look at
point.
hold on,
No,
the
not
DQ.
for
Look
the
at like
islands.
hold on.
In
Think about
reference
this.
to the red.
Let
the
me ask you a question. Imagine you're walking. Hold on. Imagine you're walking down the street, right? You're on one block and it's pouring rain. Literally the next block over, it's sunny. You walk the next block, it's snowing. and so on and so forth. You're gonna
That's-
say, "Wow, this is this is not natural." That's what they're talking about.
That's
Like,
the red line.
Yeah.
of course, there's going to be natural weather patterns to things, but the
I
fact
do-
that it's chronological order
And
following a strip of land, and we know it's ginormous, but it's a strip of land, and it's almost like a domino effect where it's like boom, 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 boom. That to me, it implies that it's definitely man-made for sure.
And
And
not
also
only
the
that,
only
but
thing-
hold on 1 second, Cube. I've been trying to say this for like 3 minutes. The climate thing is only the Grand Line. Only the Grand Line's climates are messed up like that. It is from island to island, the weather changes. On the blue seas, the seas share, like in the North Sea, it's known as the coldest sea because it is mostly a winter sea. It's the Grand Line. Something has messed with the topography and the climates of the Grand Line, and the same goes for the Red Line as well. It is an unnatural progression of climates. It's not like this part is winter and then it goes into fall and then into spring and then into summer. It's like winter, summer, spring, winter, fall.
Right.
So like it just jumps so
And
much
the
that it's
combat is
not
the opposite.
logical how to. Also, I got to
And the
shout out.
combat is
The combat's the
exact
opposite.
of chaos.
Exact opposite.
Right.
It's all chaos. And I got to shout out 3-Day because I thought the same thing. When Nax said stitched together, I thought, what if it's not the chop fruit that made the Grand Line? What if it's Leo's fruit? What if they use that to stitch the islands together?
So
Yeah,
think of it this way. You have a continent color with the island fruit.
What were you saying, Cube?
Interesting.
And then
Yeah, and just to bring up a point, because at least to know what was the supposition for Nami was a stitching island. When she was talking about the climate stuff, it's something that's established because she's a navigator. She studied that shit. She was just giving the lore about the red line and the weather phenomena. That was actually like something that's established in the world. It's not a theory.
Yes.
Y'all got me
It's
messed
a
up,
correct
man.
point with this.
I'm
Well,
still
what if, like-
if I understand that the Grand Line and the Red Line have these messed up weather patterns, but to say that the Red Line is only like that because it's a mashed up like amalgamation of islands, that's a stretch, and that's a theory.
Yes, it is a theory.
I mean,
You're right about that. Yeah.
It is a theory.
I think it would be irrelevant to bring it up then. Like,
That's what
Don't
I'm
you think
trying to
it's
tell
kind of a
Dill. Like,
No. It's not irrelevant to bring up because it's an in-world theory. It's not an out-of-world
Oda
theory.
did.
It's from an in-world person, meaning Oda put the pen to the paper and said, "Hey, the readers are going to get this bit of knowledge."
Listen, can I say this? The reason why it's important to us, right? If you're around just normalness, you realize the chaos, right? If you're around chaos, you realize the normalness. On the Grand Line is an embodiment of chaos. The magnetics is off. There's no easy way of navigating the Grand Line. So the Red Line is the exact opposite. It's like the way they pointed out, it's very serial. It's in order, right? And that is very weird for the Grand Line. Name something on the Grand Line it has a perfect order to it, or the Calm Belt. It's crazy. It's wacky. The weather is off. Everything is off on the Grand Line, but the Red Line seems to follow a pattern. If that's not weird, then I don't know what to say. But that's weird because, like,
it doesn't follow a pattern. That's what I was trying to say. Is that it's
well, not
so
a pattern, but
sporadic. Yeah, I get what you're saying.
The weather patterns and the fact that they almost seem in chunks. Boom, boom, like building blocks. Boom, boom, like Legos. Right? To me, that's somewhat of a pattern, right? And I'm not saying the weather pattern. I'm just saying there's serialness to it. And that Grand Line is the exact opposite. There's nothing. Everything's chaotic. And then especially when you go to the New World, it's crazy. Like even regular log poses don't even work there. You have to use these trifecta log poses, right? It's super crazy. So I don't know. I think that's
essentially Oda's way of
cooking.
saying that you have to triangulate the location of the next island you're going to.
Right.
There'll be 3 options, and you're like, all right, so which path am I going down?
Right. I don't know. You might be right. Maybe that might be a little stretch, but we can all pretty much agree, like, the Red Line is man-made, for sure. Like,
yeah, it's for sure man-made, but I'm saying its climates are not related to the fact that it's made of
I think we're all
islands.
focusing on the climate part of it too much. But the man-made aspect is important.
series, bro.
Wait,
I've never
Let
said
me
that it
just-
didn't
let me just do
have
this,
messed
like-
up climates. I'm saying that it doesn't because it's island,
right? Like Smokey said about the Grand Line and like the intensity of it and stuff like that, right? Which is because of all the magnetics, like all the minerals and stuff in the ground. That's what we've been told. And like, I think both points are valid because like it might not be that it was man-made by being stitched together. It might be that it was a explosion of materials that went all over the all over the red line that gave it different climates or something. Like this is One Piece. It could be a few different things. Like even though it's man-made, like I think the most, to me anyway, the most apparent reason would be the islands were put together. I know that just goes back to what we were just talking about, but that is the most apparent reason to me. Like, is Oda saying like,
well, apply this logic backwards. Who's to say that there isn't some semblance of organized chaos across the Grand Line? And who's to say that just because these islands aren't in that specific position isn't why they have this messed up climates and they're so different?
Yeah, I mean,
like, it can work both ways, but it's a theory both ways. It's not confirmed.
Yeah, but
and like using what Nami said as fact when she is like a child and like new to the, I don't know. I don't think that's good information. I think it's a theory in world, yes, but I don't think there's any. It's not like Vegapunk saying it, you know. It's different.
Yeah,
but I don't know what she's talking about.
No.
She's like a weather.
Why would we trust their word?
She's a weather savant.
Yeah, that's literally.
I will say like this:
for information.
Oda sprinkles in red herrings.
Pre-time skip. Crazy.
She's a weather savant since we met her.
Pre-time skip. What do you mean? She predicts storms on the Grand Line that nobody can ever do.
Cyclones and stuff like that.
Since Along Park, people are talking that her gift is unique to none. Like she's the only one who's able to do what she could do. They keep talking about that. Since
what about the geography side of it? Like that's only half, man. Like
geography is everything.
Yeah, that's what I was just saying. That's why I started laughing.
Listen, there's two people in One Piece. Whatever they say, I believe, and that's Nico, Robin, and Nami. Oda tells us, like he's told us many times, these women know what they're talking about because they are very astute. That's their dream, so they're not gonna.
Women are always right.
Right, like I don't know, maybe
their dreams to make a map of the world, not weather chart it.
But true. This is very true.
She can't randomly predict islands appearing, but she can randomly predict storms appearing.
Well, not only that, but listen, check this out. Check this out, DQ. Check this out. The ancient islanders of our world could tell where other islands are based off the waves and the way they look. You could tell where nearby islands were just by watching the waves and how they ripple.
Almost like a sonar wave
just
bouncing
saying,
back.
Brother. I'm just saying.
Atlantis.
Just saying.
But it does feel everything feels very man-made on the Grand Line. I think the whole Grand Line could potentially, because obviously it's the tops of whatever was there before, right? Like we've confirmed that.
No,
yes.
There's two things that are natural, and that's Alvida and Big Mom, baby.
Oh my God, baby, let's go!
Oh no! But let's quote: Big Mom is not natural. Have you seen both of her parents? Yeah, she does not look like the offspring of those parents.
She's all
natural, baby.
Yeah.
She's all natural. It's not from the bloodline of her direct parents.
Listen, don't even come at me about Charlotte Thicklin.
No, I'm going to ask you about Linlin.
Nami states a theory, and I said, well, it's still just a theory, and I give points against it, and you're like, no, now it's fact, because she said it, and I'm like, bruh, what the... Come on.
Yeah.
Fact.
Come on.
Oda's telling it through these characters.
If it would have been the goal line.
If there would have been another character telling us that, it wouldn't have held as much weight. But no, it was Nami, the weather queen herself, told us about this phenomenon that transpired on everything.
Shout out Cube of the Red Sea with the €2 super chat. Climate change is real. Do you want to back that up, Cube?
Yeah.
Hey man, I said what I said, you know.
No, I mean,
White Bear said what he said. I said what I said. Also, I was gonna say, if we start like doubting Nami on the weather stuff, which has been established since the beginning, it's like doubting everything that Robin says about the voice entry stuff.
Yes.
Like Oda's
Or
using
even
them
just
to explain
anything she
the...
reads on poneglyphs because she lied
It's
to
like
Crocodile.
doubting Luffy when he says something
Listen,
about
I'm
Beetle.
pretty sure Nami's never been to the Red Line, so it's still just a theory, dog. Like,
Well, she's
It's
been to
not
the
true.
Red Line.
Wait, what do you mean? Wait, what do
She
you mean?
gathered the
They were
information.
super close. They were extremely close to it. She observed this with her eyes. She's never been on it, but she observed it. That's how she was able to say that. That like the weather patterns where they were,
And also,
they were
in Arlong
super
Park,
close.
in the flashback,
that doesn't
while
make her
Luffy
special.
waits for the 10
If I
years,
looked
what did we find out in the 10 years?
With like rain, snow, and like blazing sun all right next to each other, I too could go, yeah, something's wrong with that. Like that, she's not special because she made that observation.
Luffy spent 10 years to train before leaving his island, and we saw on Nami's island. What was her thing? It was out training. Arlong wanted the maps of the world. She was making new maps, stuff like that. Most likely, some of her weather stuff. I'm not saying about the stitching part of the Red Line, but she most likely learned some stuff about the world, about how the weather works. You know,
right?
She's not born and start knowing all of that. It took her 10 years to have all that knowledge as well.
Listen, if you did that, DQ, yeah, that wouldn't make you special. But if you have done literally what Nami has done throughout the story, you would be very special. If you were able to predict that cyclones were coming from out of nowhere, you would be special. If you were complimented literally by a thunder god,
absolutely.
Eno, listen, hold on. Eno praised her.
This
On Skype, he was like,
instance is not like you need to be special to look at this.
No.
Yeah, that's weird.
You're right. You're absolutely correct. But here's what we're trying to tell you. This is throughout the story. Oda has told us he is trying to tell us that when it comes to weather, maybe not when it comes to weapons, maybe not when it comes to alcohol, whatever you want to call it, but when it comes to weather and navigation, Nami knows her shit.
Well,
right, that's like Brooks knowing his music. That's like Luffy fighting. That's like Zoro knowing his fighting, and alcohol. That's like Sanji and his cooking. They know their shit.
If you looked at this weather pattern, you went, "Huh, that's weird." But maybe it's normal, and I'm gonna doubt myself. And then Nami comes along and says, "No, it's definitely weird." Like if you both come to the same conclusion, like you're gonna doubt yourself unless Nami backs it up. Like
if Nami backs it up, I am going to doubt myself. Yes, if she comes and says, "Look," if she said the sky is purple, I'm gonna be like, "Damn, the sky is purple." I'm tripping out, bro. That's what I would do. If she says there's going to be a 70-foot cyclone coming, you could bet your ass there's going to be a cyclone coming, bro. Like when it comes to weather, she's not a red herring, and I know what you mean because Oda does that. I personally think Ivankov is like one of those characters.
Gosh. I never said she wasn't the weather person. Like, I'm just saying that in this instance, you don't have to be special to look at this and go, huh, that's weird. And the fact that I was like, yeah, you guys said that it was a theory. And when I brought up the fact that it's a theory and I gave a little bit of like pushback as to why it's just a theory, as well as the fact that Nami herself is just speculating in that moment, I was such force. And see, now she's not speculating. When on stream, Jill said it was her theory.
He directly says, in a way, the Red Line is a collection of interlocking islands. There are summer islands and winter islands. Of course, the place we're heading has the climate of a severely cold winter island.
Well, listen, hold on. I can go even further because there are times where she doesn't know everything, right? Look at Jaya. When Cricket is trying to explain to her how the pyroblane clouds work, she was like, no, that's not how. Like, how does a cloud petrify for 1,000 years and doesn't rain? Like she was like, and then Cricket had to be like,
I'm not doubting her ability for weather. Like
what are you doubting about Nami then? What are you doubting about Nami, bro? God damn it! Contrarian.
He's saying that because I flip flop, my argument is no longer valid.
If Nami says something about weather, you believe it, bro. If Luffy says something about beetles, you believe it, bro. If Robin reads a fucking poneglyph, whenever she reads from the poneglyph, you better believe it, dog.
I'm saying the information that was provided to me was that Nami had a theory, and I was like, well, I mean, it's still just a theory then, isn't it?
Because I was disregarding her Grand Line comment about the theory with the Red Line comments in which she stated, in a way, directly saying what the Red Line does, not saying, hey, this is the world theory, or this is what I think. That was about the Grand Line.
Can we end just right now? Listen, when the Straw Hats get to the red line on top of the red line, and it's not this weather pattern that it was, can we just all apologize to DQ for a minute? Like, can we just all like have a stream?
I didn't say that it didn't have messed up weather patterns.
I don't know what the hell
y'all are trolling.
I got a relevant question.
I'm crying.
Do we think it ever rains at Marijwa? Or do you reckon it's just constantly sun?
My dad thought Ned was about to ask, do you think it ever rains on the red line? And I was about to leave. I was like,
oh my god. I was out of here too, bro. Out of here.
We've seen Marijwa. It's been sunny, right? Like, there's never been night from what we've seen at Marijwa. But it's not called
a fraud in the chat, Lucas.
What?
Lucas, one sec, sorry.
1 sec.
JJ just said, every arc, we find a new person that can read poneglyphs. Robin has served her purpose.
Oh, that's
right.
wild.
Okay,
that's
JJ,
wild.
on the spot in front of all these people. Can you name 2 people that can read poneglyphs except for Robin, please? Thank you.
Hey, hold on. JJ, you just called me a simp in the chat. I'd rather simp over Nami than simp over a pig, bro. Watch your mouth, okay? I will blame you.
You can't say that, Smokey. You can't say that.
Bottom man.
We both simp over Big Mom.
I know, but no, he says I'm a simp over Nami, and it's like you know, Big Mom is acceptable. You know, Big Mom is the queen of thickness.
Guys, it's stated that only the red line that crosses the Grand Line has its own like summer, winter, spring, fall islands. It's not the entire red line. It's just the one that crosses the Grand Line.
So that supports what I said about in the 4 seas that it's a consistent weather pattern. Okay. Yeah.
That doesn't negate anything we said though, bro.
No.
We're not getting back into the weather thing, guys. I'll put my foot down.
There's 12 different climates. There's 12 different climates on the red line.
You're a climate.
Good.
Well, not 12
is that
different.
only in...
It goes in...
Combinations. There's combinations, remember? Because there's 4 islands and then 4 seasons. So then you have different combinations. You have summer, winter, autumn. Like there's a whole bunch of different. But that's what the climates, the 12 mean, right?
Oh, we got a Nami here. Yo's there in the chat.
Yeah,
I'm seeing him right now. I'm sending a DM to Dill to take out the sniper. No, I'm just kidding.
Bottom man.
Oh goodness.
Yeah.
I'm gonna, dude.
But no, going back to what you said, Marijwa, we've never heard it like considered a constantly daylight island, though, have we? Because I know we specifically got that about Indy's Lobby, that it's always daytime there. So it makes me wonder: does it even does night even fall on Marijwa? You think? I think so, but
because day and night.
It also makes me think: have I ever seen a sun in One Piece before? I'm not even sure. Like,
Luffy?
I need to...
Whole cake.
Yeah, you have.
Whole cake.
You have Alabasta.
Mazzacaramal did a weird something with Pandora.
Yeah, well, I was going to say Carmel and Big Mom, but Alabasta, what? Is there a sun in Alabasta or just the moon?
When they're in the desert.
No, there is. In the desert, they keep showing the sun in the desert.
And in Skypiea. We see it behind NL and Luffy while they fight.
Yeah.
Interesting.
And we see Luffy all the time. I'm sorry my son keeps bursting in and showing up on the stream, guys. he wants a feature. That's all it is.
He's been asking about a son in the story, so he said, I got to introduce myself. Hold on.
Yeah,
tell him to like the stream if he wants to join.
I'm going to be the new TLA member. Yeah, tell him like the stream.
Like the stream. I'm going to charge my
stream.
Yo, Dex. So,
bottom man.
What's your next question, Lucas, on the arc or on the break week, or what you got?
What do I got? Okay, I want to know how many chapters do you guys think there are left in Egghead?
In Egghead?
5.
Mm-hmm.
5.
That is so low. I'm telling y'all, 8 or 9. 8 or 9.
So I think the Straw Hats are leaving Egghead on the 5th chapter. I think we're still wrapping up Egghead for 3 chapters after that, where we're sailing to the next place, because you got to think everybody's going to be fucking talking. We're going to get that so much.
Right. Yeah.
So
remember, the situation for them to
What was
make
that?
the situation.
What was that, Dindin?
So Elbaf is November, right? Which gives us, I think, pretty much exactly 6 months. Which 6 months set that into sets of 2 weeks. That's 12 sets of 2 weeks. So that includes all the breaks. So we got about 12 chapters between here and Elbaf, or maybe about 14, depending on the breaks.
You really can't go off that toy leak, dude, because it could be referring to just the Elbaf giants from showing up on Egghead, because they're in the middle of the Egghead set. They haven't even gotten to where the Gorosei show up in the Egghead set that they're releasing.
Okay.
So yeah, I definitely think it's the Oimo Kashi, or not Oimo Kashi, but the ones that were on Ohara saving the books. I think that's the giant set, because those were some of the new giant pirates.
It could be, but I think it's more likely Dori Brogi, Oimo Kashi, the ones that showed up to Egghead and have been prevalent in the fight, which includes some of those giants from the Ohara incident. But I do think we will hit. I think we'll hit Elbaf before August. Like I said, 9 chapters left, maybe, if that. I'm thinking end of August is when we'll hit Elbaf.
Honestly, what I'm really scared of, if they're all gonna be able to get on time on the ship, because it's the timer's going deeper and deeper. And if you've seen recently, Luffy is quite far from the rest of them. So I'm wondering if there's going to be a situation where some of them are going to go back for Luffy and others are going to go.
Yeah, guys,
because don't forget, in logic wise, I could see now Robin and Luffy.
Cube, wait, you just cut Josh Josh right off.
But I did finish. I was not finishing.
No.
I'm gonna finish now. Bye.
Yeah. Bye. Yeah.
Wait, you guys can hear me? I didn't stop talking.
Yeah, we can hear you. Yeah.
No. Okay. Oh, so sorry. I
don't know. Stand by to Josh. He had to deduct.
Okay. Okay. I didn't hear that. Sorry, guys. I was saying, and I always felt like how bad things are going. It cannot be shocking that Robin and Luffy realize that they're a target as well, because. Let's not lie. If the Gorosei are going to choose who are they going to kill first, it's those two. So I've always wondered, like, are they going to all be able to get on the ship while Luffy is still so far away? Or some of them are going to have to go back for Luffy and some are going to go forward?
Well, see, I think it's going to be like an inverse to Sabaody, where they will leave the island together instead of being separated. I think that it'll be almost like a victory. As well, not necessarily a victory, like, because they won't defeat the Gorosei. I don't think they're going to defeat the Gorosei here. I don't even think one of the Gorosei is going to be defeated here. I think it's most likely that, like we've all said, it's an inverse to Sabaody. Instead of being scattered and sent off to different islands, they'll all leave together and head to the same island. Hopefully with Vegapunk.
Yeah.
At least his big ass.
I like it. The only thing that I would definitely say is important to consider when we're thinking about how long and all that stuff is the mother flame. Something has to happen there. It's not like they're just going to leave it there and
exactly. Yeah.
I mean, something has to either explode or be doused out, or it needs to be taken maybe by the Iron Giant and put inside himself. Just a lot of possibilities.
But what if the Gorosei take it? Saturn's right there with it, man. If it falls into the wrong hands, that's another catalyst for this gigantic epic war that we're supposedly getting from what Oda said. Yeah, it's that catalyst. It's there because they know of the 3 ancient weapons. They don't know where they're at, but from what Vegapunk said, we can all assume that they have Uranus, right? I think we're all on the same page there. Or if not Uranus, something very close to Uranus that is modeled after it. Because
modern recreation of it.
Yeah, well, I'm actually. Yeah, I think it's missing something.
Yeah, Yellow Prince is asking. Oh no, go on.
No, I was just gonna say. I think Uranus is missing something. Like a lot of theorists think that there's an animal like a living component, and then the weapon component to the ancient weapons. And I think the government has the weapon component and needs the Mother Flame to power it because they don't have the animal component of it.
Yeah.
Ooh.
I was going to say, with it being a modern component of it, that would explain why they were lacking and why they would need a Mother Flame to substitute as a power source.
Exactly. Especially if, say,
It's like
Roger
he-
had the animal component on his ship in that giant egg and left it somewhere they could not reach, say, Elbath.
or even last if you think about
Or
it.
even Laughdale, yeah.
Yeah.
Was they on the ship after
Jose
they left
brings up,
Blacktail too?
He put they have Uranus or the Arc Maxim like an L. Now the Arc Maxim, obviously, it's like old classic theory and stuff to do like tying to Uranus stuff, but there are weird things about it, like some of Enel's attacks, like the million, bajillion, trillion volt strike and stuff like that, and it just starts rain and thunder everywhere, very like the Mother Flame, and there's just loads of ties. And also the Yellow Prince said, is the ship currently falling because it is at where Nazro sliced the lab? Which is an interesting question, because I haven't thought about where the ship is.
Sunny
currently.
is. Well,
But one thing I will say about this, I do want to say this real quick.
Yeah,
right?
you're good. Sorry.
Not many people have brought it up back in the day, but in Wano, the guy's shits just magically transported, and we didn't see how it happened. They just like, Oda just was like, well, now the ships are parked up, even though we've had Onigashima flying around and all this crazy stuff. So it doesn't really make sense. So hopefully he'll do something with the ship, but I'm not sure if he will show us much.
That's my question. Is didn't we see during Vegapunk's message that Edison had sent the ship down one of the white roads towards the ocean? So wouldn't it make sense
He
that
had
they're still
sent it down.
Yeah, but-
he had only extended the cloud.
Yeah, but if they'd gotten onto that cloud,
so
it would make sense that it would follow that trajectory still.
Yeah, but Prince is saying that like Nazro cut the cloud in half, didn't he? And
He-
cut like split Punk Records.
He didn't cut the cloud. He cut right below it, or right above it. When he split Punk Records in half. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Is that like because the white clouds that they're using, like that, what is it called? It's not pyroblind. It's they use a certain term for it when they make the I keep wanting to say silky roads, but that's not right. I don't think. But those have
Wasn't it Milky Road?
Milky Road, thank you. Those Milky Roads have a bit of stability to them and their own form. So it would not make sense that even if Nesjuro cut Punk Records in half, that the Milky Road would be affected by that, unless he directly cut the Milky Road.
That's a question connected to the Asian weapon of Lucas. Because we keep getting this reveal post timeskip about those secret members, or always there's another one. Is it safe to assume that the reason why he never named it is there might be a fourth Asian weapon that the government is controlling and kept it out of harm's way? Because we say three.
Didn't someone have a theory about that recently?
I think it's Sawyer 7 Mage has been a big proponent on this idea for years. I find it interesting. I have no horse in the race, but it's an interesting thought. If there's another one.
It makes me think, though, it would make sense for a fourth ancient weapon to be made if the government doesn't have one of the three. If it was them versus the three ancient weapons, they obviously had to have something that could combat Pluton, could combat Poseidon, could combat Uranus. So it is interesting. Do you guys think that?
Let's bring it.
Oh yeah, go ahead, Dennis.
I was going to quickly say, let's bring it back to the chapter just for a second and say, what's everyone's thoughts on this? Vegapunk saying there's an ancient weapon that still exists. Do you think that Uranus is still tucked away somewhere? What's everyone's thoughts on that?
That's what I was saying. What if he's not talking about Uranus? He's talking about a fourth one, someone that no one knows.
Yeah, he's probably talking about Dindin's anus.
Oh,
he's talking about DQ Goblin Glizzies.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Whoosh. Wow, I was not ready for that.
No, I'd like to know everyone's thoughts, because like I said, I think they have Uranus, but they're missing part of it.
Mm-hmm.
So after the Roger pirates left Laughdale, they still had the egg on the ship.
Yeah.
Ooh,
So unless the crew had went back to drop off the egg, the egg was not left on Laughdale.
Where could it
It's just a stupid thought, but imagine that egg is just the egg that Big News Morgan hatched from. No, I'm just kidding. He was already born, but it would be funny.
Yeah.
It's a big ass.
That egg is. Yeah, I've said this. That egg, when we're gonna get a reveal, it's gonna be like Cobra finding out Cobra's finally dead. You know, so many theories could finally end. But
that's
Yeah.
true.
That
Like,
egg.
that egg needs to be revealed. I mean, let's be real though. The Monkey King stuff and the Journey to the West is pretty strong with One Piece, right? And Monkey King was born from an egg, and yeah, I don't know. It's just a bit. I'm not saying Luffy came from the egg, but I don't know, some weird stuff, some weird technology or something. I think Kube is a proponent of the rock theory, right? Like there's a big bird in there that takes people up to the top of Elbaf or something like that.
Oh my god,
I've
Buggy
been
was in the
saying
egg. No, I'm joking.
I was basically saying that what if the four-road poneglyph don't talk about the exact location of Laugh-Tale, but like for Jaya, for the knock-up stream, Cricket said you need a certain animal that has this natural weaver card, like Zunisha with Zo, that naturally goes to Laugh-Tale. Like what if the four-road poneglyph actually gives you to an animal? Which would explain why the Straw Hat seems to always interact with animals. Like that's the first thing they do in every island. They have that weird connection with a certain animal. That was the idea a while back.
Mm-hmm. True.
Well, I like the idea of the rock as well because it ties into, like, we've seen a lot of Native American legend inspirations in One Piece with the Shandians and the Lunarians. So it would be interesting to see how he would tie the rock into it as well. Maybe it's
Do you guys think we're gonna
animal. Oh, go ahead, Smokey.
I want to say my bad, Lucas. I want to say, do you guys think we'll see another knock-up stream, but that goes downward to the center of the Earth?
Ooh.
Whoa.
Have we though? I was about to say, have we? Have we seen Eni's lobby in Lelucia?
Mm-hmm. Now you're catching my drift.
Yeah, dude, that's a knockdown stream because all the water's going into those holes.
It's a knockdown.
Where do you reckon Oda got the name for Eni's lobby from? You know, O'Hara talks about Denai's lobby. That's possible, but I'm not too convinced. Like Eni kind of sounds like an L, you know. So I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
It's weird.
Inaru's lobby.
Anal's lobby. Eni's lobby. Anal.
God.
Made by
God
Uranus.
damn it,
Oda's playing a lot with that word, man. Anus lobby. Made by Uranus.
Urinate.
Urinates.
So,
No, wait,
do you guys think if the government does have Uranus, right? Like if that is what they have, do you think that's what picked up Beiji?
Yeah.
I think like that's the long speculation, right? We know
that could have been Shiki himself.
Let's not bring Shiki up here. Let's not bring
I mean, Ragnar had an interesting good take on this whole thing with Beige, and actually it does connect back to Strong World.
He hired him, bro. It was Shiki that hired Beige, man. I'm telling you.
That's what Ragnar thinks. He thinks Shiki hired Beige to take out Big Mom for him.
Yeah. Because it's interesting because the only one who has like this deep like mobster thing, and it was a movie, was Shiki. And the one person who's taken is Captain Beige, and then the next time we see him, he's under a former Rock Pirates alliance, Big Mom. So that was his take. Like, what if Shiki's trying to come back in the story?
Yeah, from what we know, Beiji didn't want to take out Big Mom until Pez was born. Once Pez was born, he was like, "I got to get out from under her so my son can have a better life."
I'm just getting the breadcrumbs of the idea.
Yeah. But I mean, I do like the idea of Shiki. If I'm being honest, that is probably the biggest mystery in One Piece to me. That is the one I want solved the most. Is what the hell picked up Beiji? Like, it does not look.
I just want to.
It's space.
Yeah, I mean that's definitely a spice world. The bottom of it looks so weird, but
exactly.
Also, Will, can we get a little more in the chat about the downward plume in the fisherman bit? Because I don't quite know which bit you're talking about.
Good.
But yeah, the Beige thing has like the little like boosters at the
Hold
bottom.
up. I gotta call out Jose again in the chat, dude. Beiji being fodder? My dude took hits from a Yonko like it was nothing. Stood 10 toes down in front of Big Mom, saying Big Father, and just taking those hits. Nah, no.
Listen,
no.
Listen, he didn't just take those. He didn't tank those hits. He castled those hits, bruv.
Yes, sir. Sorry, dude, what did you say?
I said to Dill to get the sniper back up.
You get the sniper back
Also,
up.
I'm happy that Nak brought up in the chat. You guys talk about the Shiki, the beige thing. That's interesting. In the same time, there's something else that happens to Apu, and that has been driving me crazy ever since. When he runs
I
in
don't know
the
what you
sky.
guys are talking about.
What are you talking about?
I don't remember this.
Don't remember. It's when they're going into time skip. We see beige being taken out, and when Apu is running, he goes off a cliff, and he thinks he's about to fall, and they're running in the sky. And it's never explained what it is. We don't know how people could just walk in the sky randomly.
He probably has the
It's
life
sound
return,
waves.
bro.
He can walk on the vibration of his sound waves, probably.
No. Apu was literally like going, like we don't know what happened. It's just it got cut out completely. Even Apu was wondering what was happening. It was just an interesting moment.
Maybe he got picked up by the same thing Beishi did.
Ooh, that's interesting.
Yeah, floated.
Yeah,
He floated, man. He floated away.
Kube. Don't forget the moonwalk, right? Like we got Janko's moonwalk.
Yeah.
We've got the skywalk. We've got there's a lot going on.
Back then, I remember there was a theory. I don't know much about it, but someone talked about the whole Bifrost thing with the Viking.
Me.
If it's like they were not far from.
Yeah. I'm always bringing that shit up.
I think Shank stole that shit.
Maybe the Saint Bruce used something like that. Oh no.
Ooh, we're spicy now.
Man's eating.
Yeah.
Where do you guys think the Iron Giant was before it got to Egghead?
Where? Marie's Wall, destroying it.
Okay.
No, before that.
Attacking it.
Before that. Why wasn't it found by the world government before that?
Underwater.
I've got an idea. I've never thought of this, but I might have an idea, right?
I know.
Dude, that is such
Time
a
displacement.
question.
Time displacement.
What about these knockup streams? They have the underwater pockets, right? Like I think Dak covered a little bit in this video as well. He spoke about knockup streams, and we've been talking about it a lot in the VCs, right? That like there might be something under the bedrock, like another layer, and maybe it was like tucked under there or something. But I've not really thought about that before, so I have no clue. But that would make sense why it wasn't found.
Well, listen.
I think.
Oh, go ahead, Lucky.
No. Finish. Because what I have is super spicy. So say what you need to say about both.
I have some headcanon. This is just, I'm gonna admit, this is pure headcanon. Maybe you guys will agree, disagree. I don't know. But in my head, I think there's a handful of whole islands that were never originally there. I think Elbaf probably wasn't originally there. I think Egghead wasn't there. I think Thriller Bark. Oh, we know Thriller Bark is a good possibility, but I think Egghead wasn't originally there. God Valley. There's a lot of signs of islands moving or appearing, or even never even touched. Right, like all of these. Look at Little Garden, completely pristine, untouched, so to speak. So I think, like, we don't know if Egghead was there originally. Like, maybe it wasn't there. Maybe the robot's always been on the island, but Egghead was never there. I don't know.
Let me cook for a second, okay? So, do you guys know what the last battle of the war that Vegapunk is talking about was? Like, obviously the war is still ongoing, but we do have a concrete entry in the history of one of what I could presume is the final battle of the Ancient War's main part.
Cook, brother, cook.
It is the Shandians. The Shandians held out for longer than anyone on Giant, right? If you look at the Shandian map that was found on Skypea, right? I'm gonna send you it down in the chat. There is a giant with horns and a giant axe.
The Oni,
this was giant. 400 years ago was sent up into the sky 400 years ago. If it was there during that last battle, it could be why the world government never came back to finish off the Shandians in that little gap before the 400 years ago when it was shot up into the sky. If that is where the Iron Giant was.
And it was made of gold.
Misplacement.
Yeah.
Right.
Why would they draw that on their map? Why would they draw that on the map?
Feel free to keep that.
I'm telling you, it goes back to the maps. Remember, I brought it up earlier. It goes back to ancient maps and what was that? They tell a story.
Feel free to open the chat if you want, because I've got the street pulled up. Like, it looks quite like it reformats it well. I think and people in the chat could see the pictures
Yeah.
you posted.
Yeah, I pulled up I don't know if stream can see. Yes, they can. I pulled up the map of Skypiea I was talking about.
That's
But
spicy
yeah,
though, brother.
it is super spicy, and it would make sense that they didn't know where the Iron Giant was, right? And then they said it came out of nowhere to climb the red line. What if it just dropped out of the sky?
It fell. It fell.
I
And
think
it just
fell.
Another thing that's interesting about it is it's the only time we see like two symbols that are the same on two different cultures, which is we see the dragon in the water on the same map, and it looks similar to the dragon that's on the moon murals, right? So yeah, it's
right. That's crazy, dude. That's really I like that theory. Dude, anything that kind of pertains to like real world theories and stuff like that, I love. And
I mean, I like it. Like I said, I don't have. I always thought that it was from Egghead because I've always said I don't know how Vegapunk. It's like Ors with his Moria. How did they manage to move such a dead corpse like that? But I do like the idea that it came from the Skylands. It would make sense.
But do you guys kind of agree? Like it's kind of on the same thing where I was saying, where it's like certain islands probably like where they're at right now wasn't their original location.
Oh right? Yeah, definitely. We have an answer for that.
A whole bunch of missing islands.
Mm-hmm. Right. We have an answer for that in the story though, with what Kube just brought up. Ors, the continent puller.
Yeah, the continent puller. Or like if you think about like study like just like the common tropes of like pirates, right? That common trope of going to an island that has the treasure and then returning, it's never there. And then you got the Aqua Laguna. Like it's just a common trope. I love that. I love the whole disappearing island and in the day or whatever. Like I think that's like such an Oda thing to do.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Like,
I've always said the way.
Okay, good. Sorry, Zingy, right? Zingy, mate, that is genius. I've never noticed that, and I like my cover stories. He pointed out chapter 425, the cover page has an absolutely giant axe in the tree, which is interesting because obviously giant axes come from giants. So maybe the giants have a connection to why they survived so long. Because, like Lucas, you said that Shandora are probably the people that lasted the longest, but in actual fact, it could be Elbaf, right? Like these giants seem to still be going.
True.
They've been around for a long time, so I guess, yeah.
Well, no, what I was saying about Shandora, like I do agree. I think Elbaf is the last holdout of the Ancient Kingdom entirely. But with Shandora, there is an official place on the timeline that a great war between the world government and Shandora took place. It is the only hint of this war that we're getting revealed now that we have in the story, if I'm being honest. Well, not the only hint, because a lot of us have like figured out, like, yeah, there was something spicy like that in the 4th century.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
But the giant axe is also on the map of Skypiea.
Wow. Yeah, you're right, dude. Yes.
It's right next to the giant.
Dude, I got a question for all you guys, too. Speaking of giants, what about the opposite, right? Do you think there's other Tentata, or I forget the name of the ones on the moon, the Aramata? You think there are other species or races like that as well?
Potentially.
In One Piece world?
My question is, like, we saw some of the Automata going up to the moon, right, during that cover story?
Yeah.
What was his name? And when did he send him up there?
Dr. Tsukimi, which means Moon Watcher.
Yeah, Moon Watcher.
Right.
And then he sent them up there how long ago?
Well, we do not know. And no. We don't have any confirmed time for Dr. Tsukimi's death. I don't believe. And it's as time goes on, it looks more like it could be a long time ago. Hundreds.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Oh, shit.
Especially since they were all out of energy once Inaru showed up on the moon.
True. Yeah. Well, the reason why I asked that question, because listen, over the last I want to say 2 months, I've just been on this tip about like Oda's cooking on real world stuff, right? We all know this. Giants aren't the only thing that pertains to, how do I say, the island myth, the island mythology, right? There's also leprechauns. And me and you were talking about this too, Lucas, right? pretty much almost every islander culture has these tales or myths of what I want to call leprechauns, or like small people, and these small creatures or whatever that live in forests, fae or whatever, and like they're really smart, they're really intelligent, and what they're known to build these grand structures in the middle of the night. People find them, stumble and go back the next day, they're gone. Right? Like that's all around the world. The Philippines, the Irish people, leprechauns, like New Zealand, you name it, down the line, just like giants. So that's kind of why I asked. Like Oda might be cooking on that as well, and we might see more than just the Tontada or the Armada. We might see more of them in the future.
Shout out Mr. Bushido, who said Sukumi was from Vegapunk's home island. Yes. I knew that. I couldn't remember when he sent them up. So we did not get a concrete answer.
Like I brought up a couple of times as well, an old theory about people with a long head tribe. And then since then we've seen Fukurokuchu and Wano. Dr. Tsukimi has a very long head. I know someone in the server was trying to Straw Hat, or AP, as he's also known, was talking about Tonji and looking for people that look like Tonji, and the only person I can really think of is Dr. Tsukimi. But the dude looked really old, and he saw an explosion on the moon, which definitely to me seems like a reversal, particularly as it is in a cover story. I imagine the people on the moon saw an explosion on the Earth and descended from there.
Yeah, I might have to go back on the lab concept before I forget it. It's spicy what you're saying that then. For those who know, in Belgium we have the Smurfs. People don't know that, but the first draft of the Smurf are very similar to the Tontanas, and the reason why they changed the design is they look too much like leprechauns. So that's why they became more blue. But the first draft of the Smurf, like 80 years ago, they look very similar to Tontanas. When you go to the Museum of Comic Book in Belgium, in Brussels, I felt like a few years ago, I was looking at Tontanas. When I saw the
I'm telling you, they're all around the world. It's crazy, dude. It's crazy.
Yeah, I'm trying to find them as well.
You've redeemed yourself, dude. He said, "I wouldn't be surprised if we get dwarfs or giant dwarfs in Elbaf." Giant,
exactly.
In Elbaf.
That's where I was Buccaneers be considered giant dwarfs?
Yes. That's where I was going with that. That's why I asked that question, because I'm pretty sure that's where we'll see them next. Because I've been going on VC on a fucking tangent about this. I think we're going to see the underground world in Elbaf. We're not going up, guys. We might go up. Who knows? But we're going down for Elbaf. It's going down to the ground.
Underground singing. Yeah, we've had it.
You know that song, Kushi, my boy, dude.
Yeah, cool.
We gotta slap that later. All right, thank you. No, but seriously,
if you think about it, it's so logical. It's true. The Buccaneers being giant, but Tontanas make so much sense if you think about it.
Lucas is driven, though. I see him looking
for giants.
He is on a sick one.
Well, Dream says giant dwarf, aka humans.
Oh, facts, dude. Yes.
What if Buccaneers were like regular, and then humans were the dwarves? But since the Buccaneers are gone, we just think that humans are normal.
Yeah, they're regular. Yeah, I like that.
That kind of explains the whole the Neanderthal and the whole denizens and the in our world kind of theory. You guys ever heard of those?
Mm-hmm.
How we weren't the original ones or whatever the denizens were.
Mm-hmm. No, we weren't, dude. Homo erectus, Homo neanderthalis, and Cro-Magnon.
What'd you call me?
Yeah, you heard me. They were the original species. No, this is scientific fact. Once Homo sapien first showed up, dude, all the other races of human just got wiped out. We don't know what killed them. We don't know if it was us. We don't know if it was disease. We don't know. And then we evolved a little bit further into Homo S sapiens, which is what we are now. Right. And yes, the S stands for sapien, so we are Homo sapien sapien.
No, but what I'm saying is we can see still the denizens.
Happy Pride Month, everybody!
Let's go!
Wow! Let's go! You're gonna piss off Josh.
But also,
Josh isn't here. It don't matter. Happy Pride Month, everybody! Celebrate it with pride.
Yeah, happy Pride Month, guys. But also think about it biologically. It's even in our real world. There's no real average size. It depends on which area you're from. So it could be this whole idea of giants, buccaneers, humans. it depends on the era, you know. Maybe 100 years ago, 200 years ago, Buccaneers was the norm, you know, and all humans were actually referred to as the Tataras. But as years go on, their name changed, you know, because they became dominant.
Yeah.
A name change from Buccaneers to Buccaneers because they just were crossbreeding so much.
Now, Cube, do you think the environment changed that, or just simply genetics, or a combination of both?
I mean,
or was it?
well, you guys, I feel like you guys are forgetting a super important aspect of the human race of One Piece here, and that is that what we consider a tall human is not a tall human in One Piece. Look at Whitebeard.
No.
My man was almost 20 feet tall. Like, and it was all because of his will.
I mean, Whitebeard's probably half Buccaneer though, right? But Whitebeard ain't no normal dude. I mean, people are tall.
He's an anomaly.
But same with Roger. Same with Roger, though. We saw him as when he was Luffy's age, and he was about the same height as Luffy. But by the time he reached his prime, he was fucking gigantic. Yeah, he was gigantic.
Grown ass man, bro.
10 points to Gryffindor if you can name Roger's height.
It's
all I'm saying.
21 feet.
21. No, it's 20 or 21. Yeah, you're right. But all I'm saying is, don't leave your mom around.
No, it's not. I think it's smaller than that. Because Blackbeard's only 12 feet tall.
Yeah, Roger's not that tall.
Roger's 9 foot tall.
9 foot.
Yeah,
Okay.
Fucking still ginormous, bro.
That is
like Dark
absolutely
Souls.
ginormous.
The stronger you get, the larger you get.
Yeah, that's how I play. I think it's the will.
The guy that she says not to worry about, that's him.
But I think also, I've been wondering on how Luffy is being seen as a demon on Rob Lucci. What if perception? Because Kaido, Big Mom, Whitebeard, and Kuma have specific titles, right? And if you look at them, they're the highest and the most terrifying of them all. All of them. Like, I'm wondering if it's like a mixture of all of them. Your will could makes you bigger as well.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, because the will thing, too, because we saw in Egghead, when Kuma showed up and bitch slapped the fuck out of Saturn, he said that it's because of the reason he still had control was because of a special trait Buccaneers carry. And I'm wondering if Buccaneers get so big because of their overwhelming will, and only certain humans can tap into that, and that's why we see humans that, like Whitebeard, are a Buccaneer size.
Facts, though, dude.
I mean, think about it. The minks with Sulong, they can change for a brief instant how they look like. The Lunarians with their fire, let's say their will, they can change the density of their skin. So it could be that the Buccaneers can literally expand, you know?
Yeah.
With their will. I mean,
with their will, that's what I'm saying. Is like their will is so strong that they just grow.
Yeah, I agree.
It's a bonus 50 points if you can guess.
Well, listen. You were talking about like riddle.
What'd you say, Did?
It's an extra 50 bonus points if you can name Roger's birthday.
Yeah, okay.
Roger's birthday?
It's May 5th. No, that's Luffy's birthday. It's May 5th.
That's Luffy's.
It's in May, though, isn't it?
I don't.
And why?
I don't know.
Oh, dude, you're so dumb. I know exactly. I'm not even gonna give the answers. Think about it. He gave he is the last day of the year because the new era. I remember that.
Yeah, December 31st.
I remember now.
New Year's Eve.
I wonder if Oda did that because his birthday's on January 1st.
Probably.
Yeah.
Wait,
the city of the beginning of the end. It's like
Oda's birthday is January 1st.
I do not believe that for a second. There's no.
It is.
It is. He was. He was born January 1st. This is public records confirmed, my guy.
We know who's not getting 50 points.
That's small news, Morgan.
That small news, Morgan, is crazy.
I like big boobs, Morgan.
I got about 25 more minutes that I can be here and host the stream. So let's get into this. What are we thinking for chapter 1117? Are we going to see any kind of resolve, or do you think it's going to be kind of following the same pattern as this last few chapters?
Well, ladies first. So, Cube.
I don't know who you're talking to. There's no lady here, but Smokey can go first. Age before beauty.
What did you say? Brains before beauty?
No, honestly, guys, I'm gonna break this apart. Honestly, I don't know. I'll say this. My prediction is I think it's gonna be a chapter where we're not expecting the news, because we've been, you know how the message has been going. I feel like Oda is doing his typical I'm going such a direction, then oh no, actually I'm gonna reveal this. I'm gonna twist around. So I'm wondering if we might go to a twist soon. So that's why it's hard for me to predict because part of me is saying that I don't think we're expecting what's gonna come.
I agree.
So that's my answer, Lucas.
But at the same time, like, we can say unpredictable, but everybody, not even just the last arc in our community, but a lot of people have said that we're going to get the name of the Ancient Kingdom, right? It still hasn't happened, but I still think it's on the table entirely. So that is predictable.
I didn't say what I thought it was going to, maybe like Babel or something related to that.
Ooh, like the Tower of Babel, baby? Oh, dude, that's exactly what I think.
That's my guess.
That's what I think Long Ring Long Land is, dude. I think Long Ring Long Land is the top of the tower, basically. And, like, that is what Joy Boy pulled up so that it can be revived. Like, that's fucking nuts.
Dude.
You popped
because
bro.
but it's legitimately, like, I think that is what Long Ring Long Land is. It's the top of it.
The fall of Babel and, like, splitting the earth up and separating names and, like, that's my guess for the name of the Ancient Kingdom.
Yes, sir. I love that. That's a 4-course meal I'm about to eat on, baby.
Eat it, dude. Eat that meal. There's Twizzies in there somewhere.
But no, I think the unpredictable side of it is whatever he will show the world. Like, if he shows them an ancient map or, emu space.
We can't be ruling out dick pics as well. Like, there's a high possibility he's just gonna be like,
I don't think we're gonna see emu until Luffy shows up in front of them.
But that would be unpredictable.
A shade, literally a shadow. I feel like when Luffy shows up, we're going to put light on the shadow and get a reveal for emu.
Now DQ is cooking, bro.
I mean, I could see that as well.
Now you're cooking.
Thank you.
What if we're all wrong and basically the next part of the message isn't the Ancient Kingdom? He's gonna reveal the goat of the story and just show a picture of Gaimon.
Oh yeah,
for sure.
Only one other person besides the Roger Pirates know where the treasure is, and it's this man. And he just shows Gaimon before he got stuck in the chest. He shows King.
Hey, listen.
No.
I mean, fun fact: Gaimon has been stuck on his island since the year of Roger execution. So I mean,
yeah.
You're not wrong.
That's a fact.
Yeah, but does that mean Gaimon doesn't even know about that?
No, he does.
Miguel.
Oh, does he?
He does.
You know. Okay. Maybe. He could be like Doran Broggy and be like disconnected from the world and stuff.
Or like Brook and be like that upstart. Well, he would have been named King of the Pirates by the time Gaimon got stuck. Never mind.
Yeah.
Brook would just drop 3 ellipses and leave. Like.
Yeah.
So.
He's like, oh, spicy information? Let's not talk about
it. Imagine Brook, like he said, oh, when I was younger, they were talking about flooding. Oh, I didn't know it was still a thing. I would be dead. I would be dead if he doesn't. Yeah, if he does it again.
What kingdom do you guys think Brook is from? Wait, we know what kingdom he is from, don't we? No, we don't. Why am I
we know he's from the West Blue. That's all we know.
Yeah, it's a West Blue kingdom.
Yeah, West Blue kingdom. That's
It lines up that he could have been a knight in God Valley, guys.
Oh, that'd be sick, bro.
Whoa.
I mean, yeah. Yeah, he can be from an era before God Valley, actually, yeah.
Yeah, well, no, I'm saying like from God Valley. If his home was God Valley and then he left, and then what happened to God Valley happened, the reason he's not talking about his past before being a pirate could be because he feels responsible for leaving God Valley and then what happened.
Yeah, that'd be crazy, man. If he left it.
Wait.
You guys got me frazzled.
Brook wouldn't know about God Valley's destruction.
What's that?
Brook wouldn't know about God Valley's destruction.
Exactly. That's true. He would have been in the Floridian Triangle.
Yeah.
Right.
Which, Brook being a Floridian.
Yeah.
That's what it's called, yes.
Floridian.
Oh, it is Floridian. You're right. It is not Floridian. My bad.
There's no C, but yeah.
We know
Your Floridian count is too high.
I was thinking about Florida, man.
Do you guys think there's other devil fruit that use and persist beyond death? Like Brook's?
Yes.
Other than, I guess, Luffy's.
Well, technically, the soul fruit... The soul fruit could make you immortal because you could remove your entire soul and put it in an inanimate object.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
I mean-
she was
I mean,
in bed with Brooke, so like them two are definitely like vibing.
Yeah,
like it's
and
that
also-
sort of similar. I think that them fruits might be twins or like sisters.
Yeah,
And here's
with
a technical answer.
with
Oh, sorry. Go
with
ahead,
loss,
QB.
yeah, with loss of awakening, I wouldn't be shocked that the Sword no Mi, the soul fruit, could do something similar with awakening, putting your very soul into someone else.
Well, what I was going to say is I'm pretty sure. I know this is not really a direct answer, but this is a more technical answer. If what we think about devil fruits is true, maybe all of them are doing that. Like your soul or your will gets tethered on to the rest of the wills that are on this devil fruit, and the next person is the reincarnation, right? All of you guys go to the next vessel,
Yeah,
and then the
all
next soul, the next soul, right? Yeah, exactly. So maybe all devil fruits are kind of like that in a way, but if it's more like exactly like Brooks, where it's like literal, I don't know. I don't know. I
Well,
think I wouldn't like that in a way.
Well, with what we've
Will
seen,
wrote in the chat the
Will wrote
ancient
what?
city of Atlanta.
the ancient city of
The
Atlanta.
ancient city of Atlanta.
Yes, sir. Sunken below the
Oh,
waves,
really?
surviving on the Coke factory.
Oh wow.
Oh my God. What did you just say, Smokey? That threw off my whole train of thought because I had something for it.
Sorry, that's my fault.
Oh, no. DQ. The revive fruit, right? If from going off what we see is every devil fruit, or not everyone because we haven't seen everyone, but a lot of devil fruits have a counterpart that is stronger or a better version. So with that logic, we can assume
Or
that
weaker.
out there, or weaker, yeah, that's what. So with that logic, we can assume that there is a lesser or stronger version of the revive fruit. Which, if I'm being honest,
It
it would
happens
probably
twice. Like,
yeah.
what?
Well, no, with the stronger version of it, maybe the revives are unlimited. Maybe you can revive an outside party instead of just yourself. It's hypothetical at best, but it is a possibility.
What if it's similar to how, think about it, Luffy has a similar fruit in a Paramisa because he's a mythical Zoan, Katakuri's fruit. Sengoku is a Paramisa, has a counterpart with Sengoku, who is a mythical Zoan. What if since Brook is Paramisia, it might be a mythical entity, like Corone or whatever, or the Death, the Grim Reaper himself.
The mythical
curious
entity
if-
would have been Yamato, or the Yamato no
believe it.
Orochi.
I'm
The
curious if
believe it.
Brooks fruit isn't even actually called the revive, like actually, and it's more soul based. But
You are
Yeah.
Where is this?
the revive is just the best way to explain what the fruit does.
Yeah,
Probably. Yeah.
I would not be surprised. Yeah, because of its soul-based
Wait.
powers, which I also Cube. You will love this. Actually, I realized the other day. I think I know where the ice part of his powers come from. It is no secret that Oda is like a huge fan of the Nightmare
Norse
Before
mythology.
Christmas. No, the Nightmare Before Christmas. He stated this numerous times. And, of course, his skeleton fucking character has something to do with snow and ice. Just like in the Nightmare Before Christmas, where Jack Skellington does what? Goes into the snow and ice. Like,
What's this?
I like
What's
that.
this?
what's this?
There's white
What's
shit
this?
everywhere.
There's white shit everywhere. What the fuck?
Dude, that's such a bop, dude. That is such a bop, bro. But I was gonna say also, I think it also plays in the Norse mythology, right? Where like their version of hell is cold and frigid,
Yeah.
Yeah.
frigid,
Yeah.
the
I don't know.
underworld. So it's like maybe it could be a
Shit.
combination of both.
Maybe we've already seen the sister fruit to the Yomi no Mi, and it was the one that
Yummy,
allows-
yummy.
Oh my
Sorry.
god.
You got the yummy,
No.
Yomi. Sure,
Yeah.
sorry.
Brooks is Yomi. Yeah.
Oh my god, what's it? They were also on. Oh my god, I can't even.
Corona.
I'm struggling. Thriller bark. But so
Corona?
for other people.
Corona, the
Yeah.
ghost fruit?
Oh, no, the shadow.
Yeah. Putting souls in
Hollow,
other bodies.
Yeah, it's
Oh,
the
that's
shadow.
interesting.
And
Yeah.
that would be
Yeah, you're right,
closer
shadow.
to messing with your own soul, which was like Brooks actually is.
and Big Mom, like the
And
souls
Big
are
Mom,
crazy.
yeah. It's like those three fruit are connected in a tangible thread between souls.
I mean, and also think of it like this, DQ. Most of the time when we get the counterpart, it's in the same arc. Sengoku Whitebeard introduced in the same arc. So it could be similar that how Brooke and Moria's fruit are introduced in the same arc. It could be the counter. One is the self, one is other people. You know.
And what's Brooke's epithet? Sulking.
Sulking.
The wisdom, the humming swordsman, Bone Kichi. There's so many.
No,
Listen, you guys want to know?
Bone Kake.
Sorry,
That was uncalled for.
Come on. Come on. No, but I was gonna say is like, what if Toki's devil fruit? She's the original owner of that devil fruit. What if that devil fruit only one person could eat that, and it was her? You know what I mean? That's crazy.
I mean, she did say that she wields the power of the Toki no Mi. If I remember correctly, she never said an official that she ate the fruit. She just said she has the power of the Toki no Mi, so she could be like the first person to desire that power.
If you think about it, Big Mom's is kind of a combination of Brooks and Moria's.
Yeah.
Or like self preservation through taking other people's souls and putting them into yourself.
Or into other objects to create more an army.
For years about like dilution and how like certain fruits seem to be not just alongside, but they seem to be descended from other fruits. And the soul fruit would definitely be a candidate for like a primordial fruit, I think, a really old one.
Yeah, I mean in the Road to Laughter, I think Oda is hinting to that because the way he writes all the devil fruits, he gives the Gomu and the Nika no Mi 2 different identities. They're both separate fruits that Luffy has eaten. The way he writes it up, not as the same fruit with different names.
Yeah, but that could be translation errors. Because have we even gotten like official translations of the Road to Laughter?
Yeah, we got an. Yeah, I think so. But anyways, I'm just saying that Oda's been hitting on stuff, so it could be something similar to what you guys are saying about some fruit evolve, maybe. You know.
Yeah, it could be.
Yeah. But I do agree. I think the Road to Laughter was just a draft. I think he's going to do another one where that will be more solidified. I do agree on that point.
Binks Kake is insane, Dindin.
Whoa. Yeah, but anyway, the Toki thing is, I think, real spicy as well because obviously we know she's from so far back. Like, so the fact, like Kube was saying, her name matches the fruit. We could probably find other examples of like people's names who are related to fruits, or something like that. You could probably line something.
I know Brooks' fruit is supposed to look like a skull, but it looks like it's just an orb with 4 udders.
What about him making Bon Clay's fruit 2 eggplants? Like what?
What does he mean by that?
Yeah, what does he mean by that? Happy Pride Month.
Yeah. I won't lie. Mr. One's fruit, the dice fruit looks cool. That one looked cool. The way it was designed.
Oh, can I?
It's bananas.
Coming up real quick.
Yes.
Right.
Of course.
Tree, you are like MVP in this heart. You mentioned them others, right? Them others look very familiar to Kuma's paw and stuff like that, and the symbol the paw, and that was recently said to be able to like literally take out people's pain and stuff like that, which seems very soul related, right? So I wonder if them little others are kind of representative of soul or something.
It's almost like the Yomi manipulates the self. Or oh my god, how did I had this in my head and I just fucking forgot.
Fruit's the opposite, right? Like the udders are on top and they're supposed to look like the fingers.
Okay. Yeah. But the Yomi, it provides revival for the physical, right? But the Pawpaw fruit, the Niku, it provides healing for the metaphysical, right? Because you can just remove pain. You can make the intangible tangible. So there is something there. There is something there that connects those 2 fruits, and not just the coloring and the shape of them.
Who was it? I swear someone was talking about like how all devil fruits come from one thing and you form them together and make like a giant animal or something. Am I tripping?
Not too long ago we were talking about the idea. No.
I just know.
Okay.
I don't know if it's on this stream. I just said that how Shanks in chapter 19 explains how they all come from the source of the Sea Devil. They're all the different incarnations of the Sea Devil. But I don't know the animal thing.
Oh my god, it's Top Musica. No, I'm joking.
Yeah. I mean, something else that's interesting about like all them fruits are that like Kuma's fruit he got through like praying or something. We don't really know how. We just got it. Big Mum got hers from assumably eating caramel or something like that. She didn't just eat a normal fruit. Brooke didn't know he had a fruit until he died, so he didn't really have a fruit. He just died and then came back to life, right? So
why do devil fruits all have the same stems?
None of the users.
To my understanding, like if a fruit user dies, it goes to the next closest fruit. Does it regrow the stem to make it always look like that? Why? What's up with that?
The stems are different. The stems are different depending on the fruit.
Yeah, it depends on the fruit, but they all have a very similar pattern to them almost. Like some of them will have curls and stuff like that. Yeah, but they do have that T shape. I see what DQ's saying. They all have like that T shape coming out the top, and the way the T forms is different.
Well, not all of them. It depends. Like with Kaido's fruit, I personally do think it will become significant. Like Blackbeard's fruit doesn't have it; it has 3 leaves coming. I think it's Marco's that looks like a pineapple. So not all of them do, but the one that DQ's pointing out is, I believe, particularly with the Gomu, associated with the spine, right? Like the pineal gland, the third eye, all the way down to the coccyx, all the way to the bottom of your spine.
There you go. I just uploaded all of the devil fruits that we know about in the VC chat here. It isn't all of them, but it's a lot of them.
I'm gonna pull this up for stream.
Oh, that's just the paramecia. Hold on. Bear with me. I'll get
that. I think these are just paramecia.
Yeah, I was gonna say, yeah, there's I do believe that we had more.
But look, the Bar and Bamu are the only 2 that are different stem wise, really.
No. The
Miro.
Blackbeard's fruit, the Yami, yeah, Marco's fruit. But I was going to say, can any of you name a single character that stumbled across or went to get a devil fruit, got it, and ate it for its power?
There you go. They're all up now.
Nice. They can see on screen.
Let me pull it up. I can't think of any, Dindin, if I'm being honest.
Whoa. Devil fruits can permanently alter the climate of an island. Guys, we're coming full circle.
Sabo.
Do you think devil fruits are why the Grand Line is so fricked up?
Oh, definitely.
Wow.
Definitely.
Wow.
Crazy. Think of Punk Hazard. Think of how we was introduced Punk Hazard. Then they said, 2 years ago, Akainu and Kuzan had a crazy battle. It could be that it was a big battle though for the abilities that could affect some of the climate stuff.
It definitely did. Look at Punk Hazard, man. It's split down the middle, straight up from their battle.
Yeah, exactly.
Dude.
So yeah, I do agree.
Dalton's fruit looks so sick.
Yeah, it does. The bison fruit, like, so cool.
Yeah.
I'm super excited to see him in the live action.
Kaido's still top 1. JJ, why are you coming here to cause trouble? Have you not seen the fraud list? Kaido's pretty high up there.
Smoke, you have a good night. With that, I am going to wind down the stream now, guys, because I do have to go. Why don't we go around the table? Everybody, give me your final thoughts. What do we think is going down? End at Egghead, chapter 1117. Let's start with Dindin.
Okay, final thoughts. Next chapter, we've got a bit of break, and then we're going to probably hear the end of the message, if not all of the end, except for the last sentence, which might be the name of the Ancient Kingdom. I'm expecting lots of breaks to come up. I'm expecting Vegapunk's body to get desecrated as well. I don't think he's going to have a nice burial or nothing. I do expect the Straw Hats to be blown either out the top, which I don't think is actually going to happen. I think they're going to go underneath. And I think Frankie is going to get the damn top off. You guys go.
Frankie is getting that pop off fruit. I agree. It's going down.
Yeah,
I'm wondering actually if Kuma will give it to him himself, because he can make the intangible tangible. What if he can make his powers tangible and give them to Frankie?
Yeah, dude.
Or if he can just. Do you think Kuma can remove devil fruits from other people?
I don't know. That's it. Oh wow. Okay. They didn't just said it. Thank you.
Just saying, don't. I've always said, what if one of the reasons why Vegapunk created those satellites is for some of them to get them to the Straw Hats, because Sanji is supposed to have Senior Pink's Devil Fruit, if in the story, and by SBS, and who is he fighting with? S Shark, who has the exact fruit. So I could see some of the satellites, Seraphim being destroyed, and the fruits going to the Straw Hats.
Okay, but I gotta correct you there, brother. He's not supposed to have it. Oda said if he had a devil fruit, that's probably the one that would be most beneficial to him.
Yeah,
Like,
if he had a fruit, if he had a fruit, he was supposed to have the Senior Pink's fruit. That's what I said. If he had a fruit. Yeah, so like it could be that because I always said it's weird to create those seraphims. So it could be that those seraphims were created for recreate certain abilities for certain people that they cannot regain it, like people who need those abilities. That he knows.
Yeah,
he's that smart.
So what do you think about the into Veghead though, Cube? What are we thinking? Still 15 chapters?
Honestly, for me, the end of Veghead, it's maximum 15 chapters until everything is over Veghead. But with the Straw Hats, I already said it. It's what you said what you said before, between 5 to 9 chapters for the Straw Hats. But I do think that we might sell some aftermath stuff.
Yeah, I agree.
Absolutely.
I think we'll get some aftermath stuff on the ship to Elbaf.
Yeah.
DQ, what about you? What are you thinking for 1117 end of Veghead?
I have no idea anymore, man. I feel like every time I'm like, oh, this is probably going to happen. Oda's like, no, we're going to do this now. And so I'm like, I feel like this is going to be the last chapter with Vegapunk talking about stuff. The Den-Den's going to get found. And then everyone's going to start being ushered off of the island.
Yeah.
Like within the next 2 chapters. For sure, I think Vegapunk is like done speaking this upcoming chapter. I think they're going to start getting ushered the chapter after, and then hopefully we'll be out to sea within 5, you know?
Yeah. Dill, what about you, brother? Same question.
I think that we're going to obviously get more expose from Vegapunk, and I think even more reactions. Like we're going to flash back to the places that we've already seen reacting to it. We're jumping back between the same few places at this point.
Yeah.
It's going to get to a point where the information is going to either get cut off, or what I think is going to happen is Vegapunk's going to get his full message out there. I don't think that there's going to be a cutoff point, because whenever the Den Mushu was first recognized as this is him broadcasting the signal, they said that he doesn't intend this to be a repeat of Ohara, and Clover was silenced before he could get the rest of his information out.
Exactly. That's a good reason to why we will get the Ancient Kingdom, actually, like the name of it.
Actually, what Dill is saying, what if we're getting the Roger and Luffy's dream treatment? Everyone hears it except us. It's silent.
I will be so mad.
I don't think the Straw Hats need to know about it until they find out from Laughtail when they get told. Because, as Vegapunk said, the same thing he's telling the world is what the Roger Pirates found out that they didn't tell the world about. So I think that's the Straw Hats' way to learn that information is by finding out from Laughtail.
I guess I also think that we're probably going to get like Luffy confirmed as Nika spread to the world via Vegapunk.
Ooh.
And I think that my theory is going to be confirmed really soon about the Mother Flame being weaponized Gear 5 hours.
I like that. I like that a lot.
That is madness.
Yeah, it is, dude. I'm going to close this out, guys.
Mode on the screen.
Yeah, dude, DQ went off today. Not just about weather either. But yes, I've been Straw Hat Lucas, Captain of the Last Ark. Obviously, thank you to the crew for joining us here today. But most importantly, thank you, chat, and the PLA community as a whole for being here. We love you all, and it has been a blast sitting and talking with everyone today. And I hope everyone has a wonderful, wonderful night. Bye.
Much
Peace.
Peace. Stroke cat.
Stroke a cat.